Topic: Kingdoms, Kings and an Early Republic. How men became rulers in past? Around 3000 years ago, some men became rulers or rajas by performing big sacrifices. As time passed, rajas were chosen by the Jana, means the people. Today, rulers are chosen by the people but through a system called voting. In the early days, the Raja was a central figure of all rituals. Raja had a special seat, a throne or a tiger skin to sit on. Rituals were performed by the priests, such as the sprinkling of sacred water on the king. Shudras were excluded from many rituals by the priests. Varnas. People were divided by priests into 4 groups. These groups were called Varnas. Each Varna had a different set of functions. First group, Brahmin. They study and teach the Vedas, perform sacrifices and receive gifts. Second group, rulers, also known as Kshatriyas. They fight battles, protect people and perform sacrifices. Third group, Vish or the Vish. They were farmers, herders, and traders. Like the Kshatriyas, they also perform sacrifices. Fourth group, Shudras. Like others, they could not perform any rituals or study the Vedas. Women were also included with the Shudras. Craft persons, hunters, gatherers and people who helped perform burials and cremations were recognized and untouchables. People opposed the system of Varnas due to many reasons. People stood against the system of Varna laid down by the Brahmins. Kings thought they were superior to the priests. Some felt that everybody should be able to perform rituals and also condemned the practice of untouchability. Some felt that there should be no difference amongst people based on occupation. Some people felt no one can decide which Varna people belongs to on the basis of birth. Janapadas. The rajas that performed big sacrifices were now recognized as being rajas of Janapadas rather than Yanas. Janapada literally means the land where the Jana set its food. A number of settlements have been excavated, such as Puranarkila, Hastinapur and at Ranjikera, and found that the Janapadas lived in huts, kept cattle, grew a variety of crops and made eastern pots. Mahajanapadas. About 2500 years ago, some Janapadas became more important and were known as Mahajanapadas. They had a capital city. People were afraid of attacks from other kings need protection, so they built large, tall and impressive walls around their cities known as forts. Also, they maintained big armies of soldiers to fight. It also showed how rich and powerful they were, and the land and the people living inside the fortified area could be controlled more easily by the king. Important Janapadas and Mahajanapadas. Taxes. The rulers of the Mahajanapadas needed more resources for building huge forts and maintaining big armies. They hired officials and started collecting regular taxes from people. There were taxes on craft persons in the form of labor. They had to work for a day every month for a king. Herders paid taxes in the form of animals and animal produce. Taxes on crops were fixed at 1/6 of what was produced because most people were farmers. This was known as bhaga, means share. Hunters and gatherers had to provide forest produce as tax to the Raja. There were taxes on goods that were bought and sold through trade. Changes in agriculture. Two major changes happened in agriculture around this time. Growing use of iron plowshares. People started using iron plowshares for heavy clay soil instead of using a wooden plowshare, so that more grain could be produced. People began transplanting paddy fields. Magadha. Magadha was the most important Mahajanapadas because rivers such as the Ganga and Son, also spelt Son, flowed through this region and parts of Magadha were forested. These rivers were important for transport, water supplies and making the land fertile. Animals such as elephants could be captured and trained for the army of Magadha. Forests also provided wood for building houses, carts and chariots. There were iron mines that could be tapped to make tools and weapons. Bimbisara and Ajatshutru were the two powerful rulers of Magadha, who used all possible means to conquer the Janapadas. Vaji. While Magadha became a powerful kingdom, Vaji, with its capital, was under a government known as Gana or Sangha. The Buddha and Mahavira belonged to Ganas or Sanghas. Gana or Sangha was ruled by many rulers. At times, thousands of men ruled together and each one was known as a Raja. These Rajas performed rituals together. They met in assemblies for discussion and debate to decide what had to be done and how.